Hello everyone! Welcome to Falando Nisso in this first video of 2021. I am Andressa Maia and I'm here to help you learn Brazilian Portuguese. And because it's the beginning of the year, if you are like me, you must be excited to start planning and organizing everything, to put your life in order, and maybe you even have a list with your resolutions for this year. And this is awesome, but according to a research, only 8% of people really accomplish their goals in the end of the year. So I'm here to give you 10 easy and simple tips to help you really learn Brazilian Portuguese this year. And these tips actually apply to any other goal that you have established for yourself this year, okay? But before we start, make sure you follow me on Instagram as well, where you can also find many tips about grammar, vocabulary, expressions, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the new videos. Like and share and comment because I want to hear from you, okay? Now, let's start very quick and very direct. Tip number 1, establish specific goals. Just say, I want to learn Portuguese. This doesn't help much. What do you really need and what do you really want? I want to be able to communicate because I have a trip in 7 months and I want to be able to, talk to native speakers when I'm there. This is a specific goal. Or I have a partner, a Brazilian partner, and I want to be able to talk to their family. This is a specific goal. I want to be able to watch movies and series without subtitles. This is a specific goal. Because having a specific goal, you will be able to establish the step-by-step that will help you to get there. Now, tip number 2, have your motivations clear. This is obviously connected with tip number 1. If you have a trip to Brazil, this is your motivation. But it's important that you have it really clear and write it down and put it somewhere where you can look it constantly. Because there will be days and there will be a time when you won't be so excited as you are right now. And reminding yourself of your motivation will help you carry on. If you have a trip and you remind yourself that you want to be able to communicate with native speakers, you need to think about how better your trip will be if you are able to talk to Brazilians, especially because you know how Brazilians are friendly and warm. So have your motivations clear and remind yourself of them constantly. Tip number 3, be realistic. If you set a goal of being completely fluent in 3 months, it's not impossible, but will you be able to dedicate the time needed in order to achieve that goal? So analyze your own routine, analyze your other responsibilities. You have family, you have work. So you need to establish a realistic goal so that you don't feel frustrated after a while. We don't want you to feel like you failed. It's possible to achieve your goal if you set a goal that matches your life. Okay? Tip number 4, be constant. This doesn't require much explanation. You can start very excited and dedicating many hours per day in the beginning, but then after a week or so you're like, today I won't study, or I studied a lot yesterday, so maybe 2 days, and then you forget, and then after a few months you realize you haven't evolved as much as you thought. It's important to have contact with the language every day, which leads us to our tip number 5. Include it in your daily routine. This is something that I always recommend to my students. Try to include the language you are learning in your daily routine, in things that you have to do every day. You always listen to music when you are driving to work. Start listening to Brazilian songs or even podcasts. There are many very good. Or if you like to watch a movie when you arrive home before going to sleep, start watching it in Portuguese. You can change the language in your cell phone. There are many things that you can do to be in touch with the language, even if you are not sitting there and studying, you know? It's important that you have contact with the language every day. So including it in your daily routine, in things that you do every day, is a very useful way to do that. Now, tip number 6, interact with other learners. This is very useful because other people's experience can help you a lot. They can give you ideas, they can suggest you materials to use, they can talk about their own strategies, and you can try it to see if it works for you. So being in touch with other people that are trying to achieve the same goals you are trying to achieve is very useful. Try to always share your experience with others learners as well. And this is not difficult nowadays. There are many apps for language learners where you can find other people that are learning Brazilian Portuguese as well. Now, tip number 7 is interact with native speakers. This is probably one of the most important things to do, because how can you expect to learn a language if you don't try to communicate with the people that speak that language? And if you are learning Brazilian Portuguese, you know that Brazilians are very friendly and are very warm, and you don't need to be afraid of making mistakes, because we love when someone is trying to learn our language, and we always try to help and support. So it can only be a good experience. And again, there are many apps for language learners where you can find Brazilians to talk to, even if you don't have any Brazilian around you in the city where you live. So no excuse, look for Brazilians to talk to. Now, tip number 8, have lessons with a tutor. This is very important, because even if you have Brazilian friends, or even if you have a partner, for example, or even if you are already using an app to talk to Brazilians, they might not correct you all the time. This is something that my students complain a lot, that they have friends, they talk to Brazilians, but sometimes when they are talking, they feel like they are saying something wrong, that something doesn't sound right, but even though the other person doesn't correct them. And this happens because, again, Brazilians are very friendly and they don't want you to feel bad. And maybe even with the mistakes you are making, they can understand you. So they think, oh, it's fine, you are doing a good job, which probably you are. But in order for you to evolve even more, it's important that you know what are your mistakes. And with a private tutor, you will have someone paying attention to your mistakes and helping you not only to correct them, but also work on the areas that you need to improve the most. Tip number 9, measure your progress. This will help you to keep motivated. So if you want to write better, for example, in the beginning of your process, you can try to write a simple text about your daily routine. Then after a few weeks, try to write the same text again, and you will be able to measure if you increased your vocabulary, if you made less mistakes. So there are different ways that you can measure. You can record yourself saying something and then record again in a few weeks and compare your pronunciation. So keep measuring your progress, because then you will be sure that you are evolving, and this will encourage you to keep learning even more, okay? Now, tip number 10 is have fun. Learning a language must be something pleasant. You are learning this because you want to interact with other people, to connect with other people. It can only be a good thing. It's not supposed to be a chore, to be a burden. So have fun. If a specific strategy is not working for you when you are feeling overwhelmed, maybe it's just the method that is not the best for you. Look for something different. There are many ways to learn. There is no magic magic method. Each person learns in a different way. You just need to find what works best for you so that you can enjoy the process. okay? Now, if you are really decided to learn Portuguese this year, I have a gift for you. In the description of the video, you will find my invitation link to italki. And if you are not a user of italki yet, through this link, you can get $10 in credits to start booking lessons with me. I am a tutor in italki, and I can help you improve your Portuguese. I can correct your mistakes. I can help you with your pronunciation and clarify your doubts about those tricky grammar topics. So if you want to start having lessons with a private tutor, I'm here to help you. And you can use this link to get this bonus of $10 in credits. And in italki, you can also interact with other learners and interact with other Brazilians just to practice. Okay? So I hope you found these tips useful. If you have other tips, share in the comments because you can help others as well. And thanks for watching. Thanks for being here with me. And see you in the next video. Bye bye.